278 BC. Winter. We are Sparta. Laconia, the heroes of the Battle of Thermopylae. But Thermopylae was 200 years ago, and Sparta is a shadow of her former glory, relegated, caged, closed in to southern Greece with little influence over Athens or Crete or Macedon. Soon, that will change. We will restore Spartan pride and honor. Welcome, folks, to Divide et Impera, Rome 2 as Sparta. The long-awaited series, if you will. Before we get started with our opening moves, I want to take a look at the faction selection screen. There it is for your convenience. As a Greek faction, we have plus 5% to research due to Greek knowledge. It's always handy to get those techs out faster than our enemies. We'll definitely focus on getting quick techs later on. Classical heritage gives us a plus 2 cultural conversion bonus. This means that our provinces we capture will convert much faster. Maybe not much faster, at least a little faster, and that's certainly a boon. It'll mean we can hold new territory a little easier. Now, as Sparta specifically, we have Helot repression. Our slave happiness is decreased, probably because we're killing them, would be my guess. But I definitely tend to enslave the enemy armies that I defeat, so that's definitely handy for my playstyle. Spartiate Warriors gives us an increased XP to Spartan infantry recruits. Now, Spartan infantry already has a nice little edge over other Greek hoplites. So, an even bigger edge, I'll take it. It'll help us out a lot. Later on in the game, it won't matter nearly as much, but right now, it's a big deal. Now, our detractor is laconic austerity. Less wealth from industrial and commerce buildings. Well, it's unfortunate, but we're not going to rely so much on those. Now, as a monarchy, that's one of the big ones. Since we are a monarchy, we get a -4 to public order every turn. We're going to have to counter that quickly if we don't want to have a tantrum spiral of rebellions. But let's get back into the game. There we go. So we should be back now. Let's go ahead and just sort of deal with the situation. I like to go left to right on all these buttons here at the beginning of the game. I won't do this every time, but it can be handy to sort of give us a feel of what's going on. So as far as our dynasty, we're the Aegeans. The only family member we have here is Arius himself. He is the Basilius, of course. He's the leader. A bunch of extra bonuses to his upkeep for land units. That's unfortunate because we're not going to use him much for that. For very long anyway. As an architect, he has a -3% to building construction costs. He's cheerful. Extra public order is nice. Better chance of having children. Nice little bonuses there. You can pause them if you want to look at all of them. Extra melee attack skill for the commander unit and defense skill. A little less morale. He's a commander type. Low casualties will help him out there. He's actually not a very good commander yet. He has -5% map movement range. Gross. Gross. We'll have to work on that. He's an intellectual. Those are helpful traits. Sure. There's not much I need to do on this character screen yet. I don't really want to deal with these other families. We'll deal with this later when the other nobles start popping up. As far as politics, we start off at a nice influence level. We're respected. Extra public order. That counteracts the negative from the monarchy. That's not bad. Our parties are pretty loyal to us. Looks like we have a mercantile Eurypontid dynasty. That's handy. Extra happiness for trade. They're xenophobic. That's going to be annoying. Bigot. That's fine. Hates Easterners. We shouldn't have too many dealings with them. Oh, expansionist, right? That's fine. You're also an expansionist, and you're also a xenophobe. Wow, these parties might actually be a problem with these xenophobe traits. I need to keep an eye on that. They don't like me having diplomacy with other factions. I would like to have diplomacy with other factions. Thanks. Whatever. As far as objectives, I don't need to worry about that. We have our own objectives, thanks. As far as taxes, we're going to knock taxes down quite far, so Sparta is super happy. We'll need that. As far as techs go, we're going to get organized supply first so we can get champions. I want unit experience. It's a big deal. I like the extra morale and the extra attack and defense. After that, we're going to rush down the philosophy tree for legal institutions for the bonus public order to all provinces. I really like having that to counter the inherent issues with being a monarchy on our public order. Now we need to look at diplomacy. This is going to sort of determine how we're going to play our opening, like, 20-30 turns. So, we have a couple of options here. And those options are based on Sparta's very precarious start. Sparta is one of the few factions that does not have a port city attached to their capital. What that means in practical terms is that we can trade with Athens because Athens is a port city, and we can trade with no one else. Ever. Unless we change our capital away from Sparta, or we own Athens as our own city. So Athens is very friendly with us. We can go stab Athens in the face, make them hate us, potentially take a lot of casualties in attacking their city, because their city will be well fortified and they will have more troops than us unless I recruit tons of mercenaries, which may involve bankrupting our faction. Or I could be friendly with them, as the game clearly sort of expects me to, and instead perhaps target the Aetolian League. That's not particularly a fan of me. Cut north through the Aetolian League, then cut north through the Antigonids, i.e. the Macedonians, and upon cutting them down, take their port city of Pella, which is a very nice little city, and make that my capital. Then I can trade with everyone. And that'll net me also some nice alliances with Athens and Knossos, which will help me keep control over, say, Thrace, and maybe Epirus if Rome doesn't, take care of them immediately, which they usually do, within, like, maybe 10 turns. So that's the way I'm going to try to play this, which means...
I am eager to hear your
let's do this.
Inspired, as it undoubtedly is, by the wit and wisdom of Athena herself.
Yep, Athena herself. Can I make you give me more money? Nope. I can only make you give me 3,000. Okay.
My people will find much joy in this. I accept. I will sacrifice for your continued good health.
How about 1,200? Cool.
With these words, you bring joy to my heart and hope to my soul.
All right.
With these words, you bring joy to my heart.
I'm glad. Shut up, Athens. I'm pretty sure that's all they'll really agree to right now. I could make them pay me for a defensive alliance, but... or not pay me, but I could pay them for a defensive alliance, but I'd rather not right now. Kind of pricey. Let's also be friendly with Knossos.
The blessing of the Olympians upon you. What, then, do your noble people desire of us?
My noble people desire cash, ideally. Lots of cash. Like that much cash.
With these words, you bring joy to my heart and hope to my soul. My thanks.
They won't pay for that, so I won't worry about it. A non-aggression pact with Knossos is pretty handy. It can be very problematic if they declare war on you early game while you're dealing with something with your one army up here, and they send, 2 stacks over to take Sparta. There's not much you can do in those cases. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can focus on building and military. So we will want to upgrade Sparta for the extra garrison and the extra cash we get. And we'll also want to, I think, upgrade this Helisideros barracks because it'll give us an extra garrison force here, and I'm definitely a fan of that. I don't think it really unlocks anything additional for recruitment. Maybe they changed it, though. It's hard to tell. Some of these units, like, they look like they're here, but they're not really here. They're locked behind reforms. Because I'm pretty sure this level 1... No, actually? Okay. Looks like the Helisidaris barracks should actually unlock, like, archers for me, which is important at this point in the game, as well as Skirite. So that's good. I may have forgotten some changes. Let's go ahead and get rid of these Spartan youths. They're not a bad unit, but they use my Homoe population, my first class population, and wasting that on these heavy spear infantry that I don't believe they have much armor. No, they don't. They have 16. It's just not a good use of my first class population. I'm also going to get rid of these Econtiste. I don't want javelins. It's not important to me. We're going to want to roll with, I believe, 4 Homoe Hoplite Spartan hoplites. Then probably about another 6 Perioikoi hoplites. Hoplites, yes. They're hoplite elites. About a big line of about 10 of these should be more than sufficient for my main hoplite phalanx line. I think I can be happy with that. We'll be rolling with about 4 Skirite swordsmen. These are fairly elite, light swordsmen. They have not great armor, but they're pretty good in melee attack and mostly just melee attack. Their javelins and speed make them really, really good to be flanking units. They can move really quickly, roll up a line. I tend to use them as support units for my cavalry as well. You'll see how I kind of swing all of that later on. We'll bring 3 archers with us. Archers are going to be invaluable to us until we can get ballista to knock down walls. These guys can burn down towers, wooden walls for forts, gates. Definitely a big deal. And their fire arrows, of course, do morale damage. We're going to take some Tarentine cavalry as mercenaries because I need cavalry. We can't recruit any at this point. That should definitely be a big help to us. I want another one, but it'll take a couple turns before I can. And let's go ahead and send Tamandra here up to the Aetolian League. And we'll just kind of keep an eye on them. Looks like this action is now stealing food from them. I like that. It's nice. Lots of changes in the later editions of Divide et Impera that are coming out these days. I'm on the beta branch, and in fact I may have to give you guys a mod list because I have a lot of them. Most of them are graphical, so not gameplay changing. I think the only gameplay changing mod I have aside from Divide et Impera is just one that if I recall correctly, makes it so war coordination is a little easier. That should do it for our first turn. Let's go ahead and burn this turn. Let me do a quick save, and then I'll probably end the video so I can go ahead and check my audio levels, make sure everything came out nicely. This episode will be short. I'll also point out that not every turn will be as... I won't show you every turn I do. Some of them, like, there are going to be points where I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of waiting for text to pass or buildings to build or kind of setting up for an invasion. And if I'm doing that, I'll give you the condensed version. I may check in with you when I start up, and, like, when the next episode happens, 10 turns may have passed where nothing happened. Something like that, just to make it easier on you guys, because it can definitely be a bit ponderous, a bit laborious to play Divide et Impera, especially if you're just sort of waiting for a tech to finish. Our Homoe are done. I suppose if you're interested, I will scroll through this so you can read it. You can just pause the screen. And you can check out this too. Probably won't do this with every unit, but the information is much more descriptive. in Divide et Impera, so, you know, enjoy it while it's here. Do I have another mercenary? Yeah. Also, I think it's worth noting, we're gonna go broke. We're gonna go broke very quickly. We have to take territory to survive this. We're about to burn through all of our Perioikoi population in Sparta. We've already burned through most of our Homoi population. There's no take-backsies here. If this army gets destroyed, I just have to restart the campaign, basically. Let's not screw up, yeah? Alright, see you next time.